Get a cup, get a cup, get a cup. Oh, my Santa hat. Where's my Santa hat? Hello, hello. Welcome back, everyone, to another video of Frischka Slim. And today, The Incredibles theory, Gamma Jack Jack is Jack Jack by Alex Bale. Now, this is from The Incredibles, I believe Incredibles 2. With that being said, yeah, the original link's in the description. Go subscribe to Alex Bale. Without any further ado, let's begin.
What if I told you that this is actually Jack Jack from the future?
I already believe it. I don't know why, but I already believe it.
Gamma Jack is a character from The Incredibles that we see only for a few seconds. He is one of the many superheroes Syndrome killed as a part of Operation Kronos, and at first glance, he just kind of seems like a throwaway filler character. But if you look in The Incredibles DVD extras, you'll find a bunch of files full of information about all of these deceased heroes, including their powers, personality traits, and even audio clips of them talking.
I'm a man of culture.
Wait, this is on a DVD? Is that what he said? What? I've never heard of this.
A man of passion, and I would say a man of humor, which is not widely known.
But Gamma Jack's file is a bit different than the other heroes. He is one of the most powerful supers in this franchise, with extremely dangerous radiation powers and a very disturbing personality.
Part of my job is to prioritize which villains I'm going to combat. The real kicker is I get these dames, man, these dame villains, and they got the curves and the hair and the big eyes, and boy,
These dames got these cakes, man. There's too many cakes around here, man. I'm like a sweet tooth, man. There's too many cakes coming at me. Man, I'm just so hot. I got all this cake in my face. That's the only time I actually want to put my face in a cake.
those ones, they're really, really hard to kill.
He's the only hero who outright kills people, and when it comes to saving people, he always prioritizes attractive women first.
You know, I take a look around, I see if there's any good-looking women who need to be rescued immediately, and then I sort of start from there and work my way down the list. You know, if you've got Tubby Joe Schmo over there with a laser pointed at his head, and he might have to wait in line a little while.
He's described as
A man of priorities.
tyrannical and megalomaniacal, and even believes people with superpowers are a superior race. Gamma Jack is like a straight-up villain. He's basically the Incredibles version of Homelander, and a lot of people have been making videos about him recently because of how much he sticks out in this franchise. But I think I've discovered something that nobody else has yet. What if Gamma Jack isn't just some background character? What if he's someone who's been hiding in plain sight all of this time? I believe that Gamma Jack is actually Jack Jack from the future.
I don't know why I believe this already. But you would have to have some kind of evidence to prove that he went into the future or something. Because you have to explain the time travel or whatever.
I know that sounds like a big stretch. At first glance, these two characters seem nothing alike, both in their powers and personality.
Looks normal to me.
I mean, how could I possibly claim that sweet, adorable Jack Jack is actually a tyrannical super supremacist?
Well, let's not act as if horrible people didn't start as babies, right? Every horrible person was once a baby who was probably really cute or something.
Well, just stick with me, because I guarantee that this will be the most compelling, believable Incredibles theory you will ever hear. You are going to...
Considering it's the first theory I've ever heard about the Incredibles, it's definitely going to be the most incredible.
be blown away by how well all of this lines up. This is the Gamma Jack Jack theory. So, this all started when I noticed a couple strange similarities between these two characters. Obviously, they are both named Jack, and they are both extremely powerful supers. There's also maybe a passing resemblance, with both of them having a similar mask, and
I guess maybe that's why it just looks like it is.
their hair ending in a single sharp point. But I didn't
That's not enough. That's not enough. Oh, he's got frosted tips and pointy hair. He's from the early 2000s.
really start to take this seriously until I started
We're gonna need more evidence.
comparing Gamma Jack's file to Jack Jack. Gamma Jack is described as a picky eater, which is probably one of Jack Jack's most defining traits. Literally, Jack Jack's first scene is Helen struggling to get him to eat, and
That's just a baby being a baby.
a large part of the Incredibles 2 plot revolves around Jack Jack only wanting to eat cookies and throwing a massive tantrum when he doesn't get them.
Obviously, I can't keep giving him cookies. No biting a day.
Jack Jack is an extremely picky eater. Gamma Jack is also described as a favorite of the ladies, which I think you can also apply to Jack Jack.
That's just a baby.
Die little baby boy. Who can handle it? Who can handle it?
Babies.
This is not enough. This is majority of women like babies, okay? So that there's not enough correlation.
Eating this one, I do for free.
All of the women who take care of Jack Jack clearly adore him.
Auntie Edna stayed up all night making sure you look fabulous in your mini dress.
He is definitely a favorite of these ladies. Okay, but what about tyrannical and megalomaniacal impulses? Well, doesn't that kind of sound like how Jack Jack is constantly and impulsively throwing violent tantrums?
Combustion imminent? What does that mean?
It means fire, Robert.
Even when Jack Jack fights someone, he seems to always go for the kill just like Gamma Jack. I mean, he did kind of indirectly kill Syndrome. Okay, so
Yeah, I guess that is more of a believable trait that would make me think that, okay, maybe they do have something in common.
there are some surprising similarities here, but let's address the elephant in the room. Gamma Jack is an adult who died in the past, and Jack Jack is obviously a baby in the present. For this to work, there would need to be some
The baby would have to go back into the past and then die in the past, basically, right? So when he's older.
kind of time travel involved. And while Jack Jack is an extremely powerful super with many different reality warping powers, we never actually see him do anything that resembles time travel. The closest we maybe get is his weird ability to travel between dimensions.
Cookie. Cha-Cha want a cookie?
Wow.
That's still not time travel, though.
From the other dimension, yeah.
That is freaky.
Except, I think there might be more to this dimensional power than we think. In The Incredibles 2, Edna creates a device that can help track and manage Jack Jack's powers, and it can even be used to help find Jack Jack when he moves into the other dimension.
He vanished!
Okay, good. Use the thing. See that? That's the current readout. Click it. See the readout? Dimension 4. So where is he?
But if you look closely, you'll see that the device labels Jack Jack's dimension as 4D, as in the fourth dimension, a dimension that is commonly accepted to represent time, meaning when Jack Jack is warping through dimensions, he is actually traveling through time.
I guess that makes sense. Because the fourth dimension is time. Okay, alright. Think you may be onto something here.
Okay, so Jack Jack could have traveled back in time and became Gamma Jack. But here's another big issue with this theory. If they're supposed to be the same person, then why are their powers different? Maybe
Well, that's an issue for sure. Maybe all his powers just weren't written down. I forget the guy's name, but maybe he just didn't know of all the powers, right?
you could argue Jack Jack has some radiation-based powers, but Gamma Jack definitely doesn't have Jack Jack's many reality warping god powers.
No!
And yes, that is true, but listen to how Edna talks about Jack Jack's powers.
Like all babies, he has enormous potential. It is not unknown for supers to have more than one power when young, but this little one has many.
It is not unknown for supers to have more than one power when young.
So what, they lose it when they get older? That would explain why Gamma Jacks are gone, or a lot less.
She talks about it like all super babies can have multiple powers when they're young, but eventually they all grow up and narrow it down to just one or two. Director Brad Bird has also made similar comments about how Jack Jack's powers are because of the unlimited potential he has as a baby.
Babies are unknown, so they could be nothing, they could be everything. You don't know. Every single one of them is up for grabs of what they're going to become. They could become a leader of the free world or a bagman, or maybe both. I don't know.
Maybe Jack Jack having so many powers is kind of unusual, but there is a precedent that he could lose most of his powers. In fact, this explains why Jack Jack would be living in the past under a new identity. Maybe Jack Jack traveled back in time and then lost his ability to time travel, making him stuck in the past forever.
Now that's an interesting theory. So it would have to be like when he's right at the point of losing his powers, and then he travels back, whether intentionally or not, and then loses it. And then he grows up without a father figure and goes crazy. Well, there we go. That's kind of making some sense, isn't it?
This also lines up with a deleted flashback scene from the first Incredibles, where we can see Gamma Jack was close friends with Mr. Incredible and Frozone.
Although he tried to hide his powers, a few of us had heard about them and approached him. Had to talk him into becoming a superhero. We had a club, the first club that wanted him to join.
It makes sense. If Jack Jack is trapped in the past, he'd probably want to be close to his dad and Uncle Lucius, even if he can't tell them who he really is. Okay, but does Jack Jack actually have Gamma Jack's powers? I mean, maybe his fire or laser powers are kind of similar, but is that really the same thing as having radiation powers? Well,
I would say the lasers probably would that not be radiation? What the frick's radiation power then? You could just like give someone cancer? I don't know.
Let's take a look at what Gamma Jack's powers actually are. The file's description is pretty vague, but based on his name and logo, I'm gonna assume his powers involve specifically gamma radiation, which is a form of high-energy electromagnetic radiation. And guess what? We are told by Edna that one of Jack Jack's powers is specifically electromagnetism.
Like an EMP?
Magnetism.
Gamma Jack's powers are based on electromagnetic radiation. Jack Jack has electromagnetism powers. They could have given Gamma Jack any form of radiation powers, but they specifically chose the type of radiation that Jack Jack can control because they are the same person.
To be honest, gamma radiation is like the only one that I think most people know about. So that could just be a coincidence, right? Like if you're a writer, like I don't know if you're doing all the research into all the different types of radiation, but gamma radiation, I think that's the one that like is most popular. And that's like most stereotypical with like superheroes.
Also, if you consider the LEGO tie-in video games to be canon, we do see that Gamma Jack has the power of flight and specifically green lasers, which is also the exact same as Jack Jack's.
Is it made? It's obviously not made by the company who made the movie, but maybe like were there some of the same writers? But then, like, if you know that someone who wrote that game also has ties to the movie, you would know that there's definitely more of a correlation.
Do I even need to keep going at this point? Gamma Jack is Jack Jack. This has to be intentional. Okay, so I'm
still thinking it is. Like, from the very beginning, I was thinking it is him. But it's the time, going back in time, even though we've kind of covered it, that's the part that is more or less the issue for me.
These characters line up really, really well, to the point where I don't think that this is a coincidence anymore.
Coincidence? I think not!
But there is still one final issue with this theory. Why would Jack Jack, a sweet, adorable baby with two loving parents with good values, grow up to believe that supers are a superior race?
I could see, like, just think of it like this. There's a group of people, and only them are for some reason born with the abilities to fly and shoot lasers and control friggin', telekinesis, control things. The ability to go invisible. It's only this group of people that can do it. If you were them, would you not think that your group of people is superior? I'm not advocating, okay? I'm not saying that he's right, but I'm saying, could you not see that why someone would think that?
Like, that kind of feels like the last thing Jack Jack would ever believe. I mean,
it's also a baby. We don't really know anything about him at this. Like, babies have not developed a personality yet.
Helen even goes out of her way to tell her kids that having powers doesn't make you inherently better.
But Dad always said our powers were nothing to be ashamed of. Our powers made us...
My dad had taught me that we're not to be ashamed of our cocks.
Oh, hell no, man.
You guys know what I'm talking about? That freaking, like, that meme video? I think it must have been from, like, a porno or something.
Special. Everyone's special, Dash.
Maybe Bob is a little more enthusiastic about superpowers, but he would definitely never call them a superior race. I mean, that is just unambiguously next-level discrimination. Where the hell would Jack Jack possibly get this insane idea from?
Well, it depends when he moved timelines and whatever. If he moved back in time and then all of a sudden couldn't get back and he's like very young and impressionable and no one else around him has the powers, or that not having people to guide him properly, it makes sense that someone might believe that.
I used to design for gods. You are a tiny god. They are lucky to be in your presence.
Yeah, that's gonna brainwash a kid.
Edna Mode believes that supers are gods, that they are above normal humans. She says it all the time, and she even seems disgusted by non-supers.
Supermodels. Nothing super about them, spoiled, stupid little stick figures with poofy lips with...
Yeah, but they could mock you, Edna.
Think only about themselves. I used to design for gods.
Okay, sure, but she only babysat Jack Jack one time. How much could she possibly have rubbed off on him?
But now think of it, this is a person who doesn't even have powers. I don't even think she has powers, right? So imagine someone who does have powers. Like, is it hard to believe that a percentage of people who have those abilities, which set themselves, that kind of ability would set you so much apart from regular people? Is it hard to believe or hard to see why someone would, a percentage of them are probably going to think that they're better just because they have that. People nowadays who are average, just with more money, think they're better than other people. So you have someone who could fly. Are you telling me they're not going to think that they're better than someone who can't fly? I 100% can see people thinking that.
Yes, you are a tiny god. The room is yours. They are lucky to be in your presence.
Literally after one day with Edna, Jack Jack starts acting exactly like her. Exactly like Gamma Jack.
These people are lucky to share the city with supers.
They are lucky to be in your presence.
And then she offers to babysit him anytime after this for free.
But babysitting this one, I do for free.
Holy shit, she is absolutely gonna mess this baby up. Well, there you go. I think this is a very strong case for Jack Jack eventually becoming Gamma Jack. Unfortunately,
I still believe it's true, though.
Unfortunately, this does mean that Jack Jack will eventually be killed by one of Syndrome's robots. Maybe you could argue that's a good thing considering who he turns into. Or maybe he somehow faked his death. I don't know. It could be possible. I do think that there's something kind of interesting about Syndrome killing Jack Jack, but then later, baby Jack Jack
takes him out. Yeah, that's like a freaking time loop.
Indirectly kills Syndrome, so it's kind of like this poetic time loop.
I freaking love those in movies, like the time loops. I love those so much. I'm finishing the Lost series, and I absolutely love it. It's gotta be one of my favorite, TV shows of all time.
The Incredibles 3 is coming out in 2028, so I guess we'll have to wait and see if it
2028
supports or debunks my theory.
Why the frick shouldn't take that long to make a movie?
Even if this was intentional at one point, I do kind of doubt that they'll ever bring back this pretty obscure Gamma Jack character, but, we'll see. Thank you for watching. If you like...
Anyway, I'm gonna end this here. Hope you guys liked it. I agree. I think it is Jack Jack. But I guess there's no way to be 100% certain. But I think there's a lot of evidence to suggest that it is. And, yeah, I don't know. Hopefully you guys like this. It's not the strongest theory that I've seen. There is a lot of evidence to make a case. But compared to some of the other ones, like some of the SpongeBob ones, it's definitely not as strong. So I'm going to rate this maybe like a 7.4. And, yeah, if you're new, subscribe and all that. And I'll see you guys next time.